Welcome, welcome. This is Seven Steps to Flawless Communication, global communication, which includes everything, right? Lots of different
Absolutely.
modalities, and especially you. Awesome. So we're I'm Cass Thomas, the founder of Seven Steps. This is Dr. Sasha, the worldwide coordinator, and we have some amazing Seven Steps maestro teachers on with us. And it's really fun. There's free Zooms and events and live on Instagram, on Facebook that go on throughout the month. And there's also some great book readings and intro classes, just 2 hours with different teachers in different languages and with translations. And the 1 day prelude class, which the Seven Steps Maestro teachers do. And we've got some great ones coming up this month. So we will share that with you. And you can find all of that on sevensteps.us. And we have 2 day explosion classes, advanced abundance classes. And it's really, what is Seven Steps global communication about, Dr. Sasha?
Well, we first created this call series to invite all of you to know more about the seven steps and what we do in the world, and to also answer some of your questions if you may have, let you know about our upcoming workshops and classes around the world, introduce you to the teachers we have all over the world, and share some tips to make your communication easier in the month that, whatever month that might be going on. So we're in the month of October right now, and today I was wondering what we would like to discuss on this call. And I got that this month of October is such a transition period for the Earth, where we are, transitioning into different kinds of, what do we call it? Wow. Here, talk about flawless communication, because I forgot the word for weather. That was awesome. Okay. So, but yeah, we're transitioning into winter in some parts of the world, and we're going into summer in some parts of the world.
Right.
And so this
Spring,
transition period
spring and
is,
fall. Right. Exactly.
yeah. And so this transition period can, it's a month where a lot of physical stuff also seems to show up for a lot of people. It's a month where a lot of angst and weirdness can occur for some people. It's a month where things can be going really brilliantly as well. October is the month of Halloween, so the month of spirits all over the world, and we have step 6 that we talk about in the 7 steps, where it's in expanding your zone and communicating with your invisible and furry friends, engaging the universe, communicating with your invisible and furry friends. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about what might be going on, and also invite you all to first, if you have not gotten the 7 steps book, um, you're stupid. Okay, no, you're not. But okay, please go get the 7 steps book. We're going to put the links in the chat. It's a really amazingly profound, and the lovely Cass Thomas has written it. So, that book is so difficult to read. Oh my God, if you get it, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it's a really engaging book. There is a book, like there are exercises in the book itself that you can start practicing right away. And I've mentioned this to a lot of people over the years. And then eventually, like 6 months later, they come to me and go like, oh, I finally got the 7 steps book. I totally get what you're talking about. And I was like, well, yeah, so don't wait, get the book today and start your journey with accessing your communication, and your, recognizing that you cannot get you wrong. So welcome to the global call for the month of October.
Absolutely. And October is when 7 years ago, Seven Steps came out, the book, and it's now in 20 different languages. So you'll find the link there. And a lot of times, especially about communication, Do people understand you when you speak? Do people understand you when you write a message? Right. So a lot of times people are locked in their mind, and that expand your zone that Dr. Sasha was talking about allows you to expand your zone beyond your mental mind, and really engage with who you are, why you're here, and what fun you can have, what money you can make, what love you can receive and gift to people, and all kinds of things. So these 7 steps are in really helpful for whatever type of relationships, business, um, personal abundance that you'd like to have, and you're willing and ready to have. And October is absolutely a month of transition. There's wars going on around the world. There's doors open where people choose to leave the planet during this month, leave their body, but they may still be around. So if anyone has left you, um, your family, friends, then really with these steps, not putting up your resistance to them, your walls and barriers. And I believe Dr. Sasha is going to talk about that today. Step number
Yes.
3, lowering your barriers and really knowing when and what is arriving for you and available for you. Yeah. So if you read the book and it didn't really make sense, it's really small and really simple. However, it's beyond your mental imagination, and capacities. So just like Dr. Sasha said, you're taking a class with one of the 7 steps teachers. We're both 7 steps teachers as well. And we have about 20 others around the world. Then reread the book after you've done one of their classes, or even
Absolutely.
after this with Dr. Sasha, and it will make more sense. And this step 5 is about engaging the universe, and it's really about seeing things from different perspectives as well. So rereading this really short book can be a gift, to
Yeah.
you in continuity, and people might want to share that with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Seven Steps book can be a great gift for Thanksgiving as well. It could be a great gift for Christmas as well, for someone who might, require the book. You could give it to your mom, you can give it to a friend, you could gift it to your daughters and your sons, you could gift it to a colleague at work who's stressed out. There are many things that you can do with that book, and it's quite fabulous what the book can bring. So moving towards what I actually, yeah, this step number 3, which is barriers
Yes.
down.
Is everyone, if you would like to hear this in a different language, even if you don't require a different language, there's there's ways to do that. Is everyone on there?
Tomas has been putting it in the chat. So if you
Awesome.
can have a look at that, and then you can change your translation zoom and find your language. We have, I
Okay.
think, Arabic, Italian, Spanish, and Turkish. So being translated into 4 languages. And the Seven Steps book is translated into 20 different languages, more than 20, I think. Yeah, awesome. So we have these beautiful, like Cass has broken it down in beautiful ways, where she talks about the 4 phases, which is, phase number 1 is connection, that connection to yourself. Phase 2 is disconnecting from who you're not. Phase 3 is reconnecting from a different space. And phase 4 is establishing true connection. Now, ideally, in a class, I would go in depth into all of them and give you so much information, your brains will be fried. It's really great. You should come to class. It's awesome. But since we have an hour, I'm just going to quickly talk about step number three in that disconnecting from who you are not phase, where we have this beautiful thing called the barriers, and I'm sure you must have heard about barriers from some place or some other space or some book or something in the world, where we talk about these energetic barriers that are seemingly really intense sometimes. Have you ever met someone you didn't like? And then what's that perception the moment you meet them? And you don't like them, so automatically like, oh, no, I'm not going to talk to them or I'm not going to engage with them. Anybody? Have you experienced that? Where you're just like, I don't like this person, so I'm going to put up a barrier against them. Yeah. Or has somebody ever given you a compliment and suddenly you're like, me? What? You complimenting me? I can't be complimented. I'm not that good. And there you go. Barriers come up. And so these barriers are something that are so, it could be towards your business, it could be towards your money flows, it could be in your relationships, it could be with your body. And they can show up for all of you in so many different ways. And so, what I wanted to talk about in this month of October, when we have this beautiful transition period going on, is what if you looked at the barriers that you have that maybe prevent you from necessarily effectively communicating with yourself first, because that's actually, in essence, where it all begins, is you. So, Cass, would you like to add something to this?
Hi there. I was just about to add, yes, in the chat, to the teachers, um, how delightful and delicious it is to see them. So you must have been aware of that. Yes, what are barriers and walls that we have up? We may not even um, recognize that or acknowledge it. So, however, uh, there's so many different, let's say, reasons that the walls and barriers show up. It may be something that you are mentally against, or feel that something is a criticism, or that someone is being, not kind. Um, that may be mental. It may also be your physical awareness. So you might be tapping into the fact that somebody that you're walking by has walls and barriers up, and you might think it's yours. Um, However, and Dr. Sasha is going to play with this. I love this. And it's something great to do every day. You can play with this every day, right? Every morning when you wake up, every afternoon. It might be your awareness of someone else. And if you are willing to pull down your barriers, right? And using this really easy, simple way of doing that, then you invite others to feel their barriers coming down, right? So when we're talking about communication, yes, with ourselves, connecting with ourselves, and disconnecting from who we are not, the king and queen of walls and barriers, and reconnecting with people and yourself. That's the third phase that Dr. Sasha mentioned. So if you'd like that reconnection, always lowering those walls and barriers, because it's sort of a reaction sometimes, and we're not born with them. However, as we grow and in different phases of our lives, but even as kids, when our parents or cousins or someone's telling us what to do, what not to do, we put up walls and barriers not only against other people, but also from walls and barriers disconnecting from ourselves. And that's why that phase is called disconnecting. So pulling those walls and barriers down, it may make you uh, yawn, and you might say, "Oh gosh, I'm sleepy." No, you're relaxed. "Oh gosh, I'm bored." No, you're going beyond. your borders and your walls and barriers, and your breathing changes a little bit. So I'm very excited about this too. Yes. Is that was that good? Did that work for you? I
Absolutely. I love listening to
don't
you.
know
Can
why I
keep
don't hear you.
going. You don't hear me? You guys hear me? Okay, great. Yeah, I love listening to you, Cass. It's awesome. Okay, so I wanted to ask, does anybody have any questions that they would like before I might trouble one of the teachers to come on and share their experience with us?
I have posted a question in the chat.
Okay, can you ask it out loud?
Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
thank you.
so a lot of
Also,
time,
guys, this is Shivangi Dadij from India, who's our other Seven Steps teacher from India. So say hi to her as
hello
well. Okay, cool.
everybody.
Tell us, what is your question, darling?
So I was just looking at this, Sasha. There are a lot of times like when you and Cass were talking about barriers, it felt like a lot of time I am erecting barriers in the name of creating boundary. You know
Right.
that this is my
Mm-hmm.
space and do not enter the space. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so if like is like are they the same or does that mean something different? Yeah, just wanted to hear from you about that.
Well, I actually have a bit of a different perspective on this because do you really need a boundary? Or is that boundary like how much do boundaries keep things outside of you and keep things outside? Like it'll keep the bad things outside, but it'll also keep the good things outside. So, it might block in an essence, like I want to say block, but it might not necessarily just block, but it might just, you'll never get to experience the full spectrum of what you're capable of if you keep erecting barriers and boundaries to things and places and things. Rather than that, I would suggest, you know, um, using step 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then step 1 and 2 as well, where you basically kind of um, have like a communion with everything and be aware and in communication with all things so that the is not bad anymore and the good isn't good anymore. It's just things that you're engaging with. And then you can navigate through your engagement what you'd like to engage with. But if you keep erecting boundaries in the name of barriers or like separation, like you said, right, you will essentially have to push away from who you really are. I hope that helps. Cass, would
Yes.
you
Yeah.
like to say something?
Yeah, I love that question, Shivangi. First of all, because when we're, often, and this is just my perspective, the walls and barriers are so close to our physical presence, right? And it's usually about something specific, and it may be lots of specific things. But those boundaries, it could be like you're out in a field and you put the boundaries like we do with horses, right? And cows. So they have lots of room to move around in, right? And so do we, but we put up these boundaries and so that things from afar, things that we're not identifying with, things that we have not invited into our lives, do not bombard us. However, like Dr. Sasha was saying, they may be areas in your life, modalities in your life, and religions in the world. It might be, food. It could be anything that you're putting those boundaries up against. However, anything and everything could potentially be a contribution to you. So when you're present, and that's that first phase, connecting, being present, you recognize when something shows up that is not working for you. and you can let that flow beyond you. However, if you're not knowing how to solve an issue, how to activate something, right? How to meet up with someone, what you need to do, all those kinds of things that you may be looking for. Expanding your zone, I would say, with that step 6, expands it beyond the boundaries that you have put up that you may not even know you have up. Then you may not even know that you have separated a certain area in your life. So if you expand your zone while you're present with yourself, right? While you're not disconnecting from yourself, it's in the reconnecting phase. Then what shows up is as if by magic for you. And you're like, I can't believe that showed up. I wasn't even aware that I was looking for that, but that's exactly what is going to work for me in this moment. So that's why we do this. People, like I just said, with the barriers and the walls, we may not feel like we have them up, but when we lower them, something shifts. And the boundaries, you may not feel like you have any boundaries up or not even be aware of the boundaries. But when you expand your zone, right? And in the prelude classes, the teachers will show you how we do that. When you expand your zone, what shows up truly is unique and different.
Amazing question. Thank you. Awesome. So does anyone else have any questions they'd like to ask us? You can raise your hand. It would be better because we're not very good at keeping track of the chat at this moment. So you could raise your hand and ask us a question.
I can hear
or
you.
come off mute.
Yeah. Are you in the English room, Sasha, Dr. Sasha? Not you, Dr. Sasha.
Yeah, I am now. Awesome.
Please, see, tamam. It may simply be the way they communicate. So if you become a 7 steps teacher, you might show them that they're communicating a different way that they can communicate. And if you were not going into resistance, and this is a perfect day for you to be here.
Evet, şimdi senin sesini alabiliyorum Burcu Hanım. Merhaba.
Perfect time
Şimdi
to be
duydum.
here.
Mesela bir iş yerinde birisi hiç bıkmadan benim yaptığımı, konuştuğumu, yeteneğim, becerim, bütün her şeyimle benimle uğraşıyor. Ki alt edemiyor hani yetenek olarak şey olarak ama birileri.
One second only, darling.
Tamam. Teşekkür ederim.
Yeah.
Gaslighting sounds correct. Yeah.
Yeah. But it didn't feel actually light at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
The gaslighting. It is the way certain people communicate.
Şimdi
One second. Boçu, can she speak to you in the Turkish room and then you
evet aynı şekilde manipüle de ediyor.
Can you
Yani
ask her that,
olmayan
Boçu?
şey varmış gibi gösteriyor.
Boçu?
Heh. Şimdi duymaya başladım. Öncesinde duymuyordum.
So while she's Boçu's inviting her in to that. Even just an example, once, when my husband was, talking to me about business years ago, and he was going on, and it felt like such a bombardment and such a judgment. And then I just yelled, "No, I'm not going to do that." And he said, "Hey, wait a minute. You do your work perfectly. This is just the way I communicate. You know me. This is just the way I'm talking about it. It doesn't mean you have to do that." And I was like, "Oh, wow." Right. So I had pushed, my barriers up. But it was just the way he communicated. So if you're willing in these steps, it's really, I don't know if you have participated in Prelude and gone 7 steps Prelude and gone into that step phase 5 of seeing things from a different perspective, right? You don't have to be bombarded. And how can you respond to that person, and not only her, anyone? How can you respond to a person who is seeming to be aggressive, but that invites them to connect not only with you in a different way, but with themselves in a different way?
Yeah. Also, this might be a more in-depth conversation that can be addressed in a bigger class. Or reach out to one of the Turkish facilitators and request them to do a private session with you, and figure it out from there. But also, read the book. Have you read the 7 Steps book, Miral? Have you studied the book? Have you been applying the tools of the 7 Steps? Because that's kind of what you're going to get from us right now. And also, it's communication changes when you begin to change your communication. That's
And
what I have
also,
noticed. Yeah.
yes, and also one of the things that I always invite people to have an awareness of before the 7 Steps Explosion class at the very beginning is, what is your objective, your goal, your target, your desire? What would you like to have and accomplish in communication? When you have clarity about that, you approach communicating with other people in a very different way. So if you'd like someone to stop bombarding you, right, then that might be your objective. And once you have that clarity, using the 7 steps with that quote unquote in mind will allow you to see and hear the various teachers sharing with you different ways to approach communication from your perspective. She liked that. You see, she's smiling. Yes. All right. Anyone else? Any other questions?
Şu an sol dizimde ciddi anlamda bir ağrı var. Topallıyorum ki Casey'de çok teşekkür ediyorum.
Cannot walk?
Ben de teşekkür ederim çok Mersi.
Teşekkür ederim. Yeah.
Çok teşekkür ederim. Çok sağ olsun.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. And you might want to lower your barriers against your knee so it can communicate to you what it is trying to give you an awareness of. Just saying.
Yeah. Okay, amazing. So yeah, in the 7 steps, we deal with barriers also in a very different way, where they're not wrong, but we also have a different way of acknowledging barriers and a very different way of working with the barriers. So for a more in-depth on that, like come read the book, come to class, and we can go really, really deep into the topic of barriers. For right now, I'd really invite you all to kind of look at where in your lives at the moment do you have barriers? And can you all just look at it? Ooh la la, what a lovely, lovely perception of energy. Do you guys notice that? Like, do you notice how many barriers we have in like almost every area? Ooh, wow. Oh, this is awesome. Amazing. I can see Sahid is already yawning. She's our 7 steps teacher from Turkey. And Jalal is smiling. He's another 7 steps teacher from Turkey. Burcu's translating, but she's our Turkish teacher, another Turkish teacher as well. Many of you know all these people very well. It's amazing. Tomas, who's translating, is our teacher, a Spanish speaking teacher from Argentina. And we have Moises, who's just become a very new 7 steps to flawless community. Anyone else on that I haven't called out yet? Okay, great. And of course, gas. So she just when I just asked, right? Like to just notice if you have barriers in your life. Did you all notice how many barriers showed up? And how much like it's almost like there's a physical reaction that one can perceive. Cass, would you like to say something to that?
I love that you always know when I would like when something comes up, you're like in my mind. Yeah. You know, one of the things that when I get in a little resistance or barriers come up, it's not like you get your barriers down and they stay down and you'll have them down forever. It's an awareness, right? It is a way your body is communicating with you, your soul, your spirit, your being, right, is communicating with you. So I remember with those, when a barrier comes up, I like enjoy it for a minute. No. I'm like, oh my goodness, there's a barrier up. There's something beyond that barrier that if I'm willing to take it down, I'll be aware of. But let me just enjoy it for a moment. Thank you, Beria. Thank you for coming up. Thank you. I know that you are giving me a signal about something that up until now, I have not been willing to receive, perceive, or know, and to communicate with, right? So why don't you try that a little bit with your barriers up, and when your barriers come up, be like, oh goodness, I'm feeling a little resistance. I wonder what is, when I let these barriers down, I wonder what I'll be aware of. Let me enjoy this for one moment and feel what this is like. And then when I lower my barriers, see what the difference is, right? So that's engaging with you. It really is. It's really engaging with your flawless communication, because the tagline is, there's so much more that unites us than separates us. And the other one is, you can't get you wrong. So if you're not going into resistance to yourself, putting barriers up to yourself, you'll know that anything, everything, anyone, everyone that shows up is not a coincidence. How's that? ¿Te gusta?
It's true. And amazing. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and believe me, I've been a 7 steps teacher for the past 3 years, 4 years. I can't remember anymore. But honestly, there isn't a day that goes by that there are so many times when I have totally forgotten that I have a barrier up. Like it is it's amazing because I'll just be like, I don't have a barrier up. What are you talking about? I'm totally open. I'm totally, ready to receive and blah, blah. And then I'll be like, oops, I don't have my barriers up. And I just don't want to know it. And it's okay. We all communicate in a very different way with ourselves as well. And so as I deepen that connection, the more I learn what it felt like to me every time a barrier was up. And that, like, exactly like Cass said, it's just so simple. It was be like, I have a barrier up. Okay, cool. It doesn't even mean that in that moment I have to put it down. It doesn't mean that in that moment I have to do anything about it. But that first recognition of it is so brilliant because it connects you to you again. And it shows you that you have a different possibility available. You have a different way you could go about it if you'd like to go about it. I think that's really cool. And I think it's a vital force for us moving forward in our lives. So, yeah.
And not everyone, people may feel if they don't have barriers up that they're too sensitive, right? That they're, attackable, that they're, they're
Me.
not
You're describing
present.
me from my childhood. You're describing, oh my God.
That they're not present enough because they're so relaxed, right? And that's okay. This actually allows you to choose if you'd like to have the barriers up for a moment, and even when you play sports, right? If you're not in resistance to people, if you're not disconnecting from yourself and from the people, when somebody's about to, hit the ball and make a winning goal, and so there's just so many different ways to apply this. And the moment you're communicating with someone else and you don't have resistance and barriers up or walls up, they get a little bit tired, because if someone's pushing you, right? If someone's pushing you, someone's being, demanding of you, and you're not in resistance, and you haven't fallen back and just allowed them to walk over you, they're like, hey, what's going on? Okay. And then they begin communicating with you in a different way. So anyway, that may be a little bit advanced, but play with it, and please let us know, what shows up for you as you're lowering those barriers. Are you gonna do a barrier lowering for us? You gonna show us, Agavo? Yeah.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah. No.
That would be amazing. Yes, please. Let's do
Yes.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'd love to do a barrier lower exercise. Okay, great. So,
I think does
do we have any final
Jalal,
questions?
you want to say
Because
something
after
about
this,
the barriers?
I think Moises also has her hand raised. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, Cass. Hello, Dr. Sasha.
Hello.
Everyone. Yeah.
One second,
Yeah.
my darling. I just have to find you. There you are. Okay. Yes.
Step 3. Some of the people, they are asking when they hear it about the 7 steps, they imagine that we are following step 1, after we will follow step 2, and so on. But once they got a class from us or read a book, they discover more than this. They answer themselves, about the step 3, lower the barriers. I want to share something from my life. I'm an Arabic speaker, so I was doing classes just in Arabic. So I don't know why. One day, one of my participants told me, okay, you can do in Turkish, or can you do it in English? I said, yes, I can do. So when I lowered my barriers, I did a preload class. people, I think the 9 or 10 people they are joining my class. I was speaking English, translating myself to Arabic, and there is another translator do it in Turkish. So the barriers, sometimes they are energy which stopping you to discover your magic, discover your possibilities or the other possibilities which is in front of you. I was in Saida one time in Instagram Live. It was, I think, more than 1.5 years ago. My Turkish language that time is not 100%, but I said, okay, we had a program. Maybe you remember the 7 days, 7 steps, 7 teachers, 7 topics, sorry. So it was the first week, my week. So I chat with Saida, okay, I will talk about the 7 steps about money. And I will talk in Arabic, and please talk after me, speak about it in Turkish. Okay, that's it. It was the idea. I start speaking Arabic. After Saida started speaking Turkish, I found myself translating Saida to Arabic. So, so that means a lot of barriers which I already lowered and start doing the translation. Okay, not 100%, but I can do this. I can manage this. So don't stop. When you have a barriers, keep in your mind that after or behind of these barriers, you have a lot of good possibilities, better possibilities, best possibilities to you. So the barriers is about what we are creating to avoiding or to defending about something. Thank you. And also I want to invite the Arabic audience here, come to discover my magic and lower your barriers and joining one of my classes. Thank you.
Absolutely. And people who have
Absolutely.
joined the teachers classes actually choose to become teachers. And we have what we call a tribe, teachers tribe. Thank you, Jalal. And he's living in Turkey and from Libya. Thank you, Jalal. And the tribe, which is basically people from around the world who support you, have your back. And you don't have to talk with them every day. You don't even have to understand the way they express themselves verbally. However, it's like having a support for who you are and what you are. And that step 1 of show me your magic, it's about asking the universe, right? Today, the universe could be God, Allah, Buddha, Shiva, could be whomever or whatever your particular contribution is in this moment. Asking, can you show me my magic? And when someone shows you their magic and you see it, you actually begin connecting with yours. So it's fun. Anyway, that's step 1, blah, blah, blah. I'm not sure if Dr. Sasha went away.
Yes, I got kicked off, but I'm back.
You're back or you're forward?
I'm forward.
How's it get any better? Okay. I'll find you and get you on. Anyone else have a question? Sahide. Just look at this. Let me just add this queen for a
And
second. Say
and
yes.
while you're adding her, if you guys want to find all of the teachers and their classes, you can just go to www.casstomas.com and then go to my calendar. And over there, you'll find all the upcoming events of CAS as well as all the teachers around the world.
Right.
And I think we've put it in the chat.
Awesome. So, yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Sahibi was going to come on and join us, connecting was as it. Am I audible? Okay. Hi, Sahibi. You're on. Sorry, we're having some technical errors right now. Give us a moment to figure it out. Yes. Almost there. Almost there. Yes. Are you there?
Absolutely. We're delighted. Delighted. Thank you. Shukran. All right. Anyone else?
Can I just say something? Did you notice the seven steps magic in communication? When I started my background, the seven steps was backwards and on the other side. And then I got kicked off the Zoom. And then now that I'm back, the background seemed to have fixed itself. That's amazing.
How amazing is that? We've got Sahide who has her hand up. Amazing. Delicious and delightful. All right.
İngilizce'deyim. Merhabalar, hello.
Merhaba
Merhaba.
Sahibi.
Sonsuz minnet duyuyorum, şükran duyuyorum. Teşekkür ediyorum. Ben nasıl bu kadar şanslı oldum? 7 adımda sizlerleyim. Önce bir bunu söylemem gerekiyor. Kaç yıldır 7 adımdayım ve Akses'teyim. Bu bariyerleri sürekli anlatıyorum, paylaşıyorum. Sürekli sınıflarda ya da kendi hayatımda hemen birine diyorum ki bariyerler nedir falan. Ama 2 ay önce D'nin sınıfındaydım ve hiç farkında değilim. Benim bariyerler tavanmış, kale olmuş. İngilizce'deyim. Neredeyim? Duyuyorum. Ve ben dile karşı bir yargım. Ben konuşamam, ben İngilizce konuşamam. Ama biz Kes'le örneğin beraber zaman geçirdik. Dil, İngilizce, Türkçe bilmiyoruz ama muhteşemdi. Örneğin postumu bugün öyle yaptım. İlk dil enerjidir diyoruz her zaman. Bunu ben 2 ay önce ve Kes'le beraberken deneyimlemişken 2 ay önce şöyle bir şey yaşadım D'nin sınıfında. Ben bariyerler tavanmış. İndirdim sanıyorum. İndirmemişim. Bütün Türk olmayan, Türkçe bilmeyenlere karşı kapatmışım güya ama bariyerleri yaptığınızda sadece Türkçe, İngilizce bilen yani herkese kapatmış oluyorsunuz. Ben ikinci günden sonra bariyerlerimi fark ettim ve indirdim. Ama o güne kadar farkında değildim. Sonra bana Hintli, Alman, e, işte dünyada bütün herkesle etkileşime girdim, seanslar yaptım, aldım ve Dane demişti ki bana içinizden soru sorabilirsiniz, mikrofona gelmenize gerek yok. Ben de dedim ki Dane beni duyuyor madem, hadi sana soru soruyorum. Oradan çıkmayacağım, mikrofonu almayacağım çünkü o sorun bana göre özeldi ve cesaret edemedim oraya çıkmaya. Ne oldu? Dem beni duydu ve cevapladı. Bariyerlerim olmadığını o an fark ettim ve aslında orada başka bir şey daha vardı. Dane Türkçe bilmiyordu, ben İngilizce bilmiyordum. Translate eden kimdi? Translate eden yoktu ama o cevapladı ve sordu. Bu soruyu kim sordu dedi. Ben sormuştum. Aslında biz öğretmen olduğumuz halde bazen kendimizi bariyerlerimizi yukarıda görüyoruz. Biraz önce dişe, şaşaya sonsuz şükran. Benim bariyerlerim varmış. Gözlerimden yaşlar aktı. Bariyerler indir şu an. Gözler şöyle şöyle. Aslında bariyerlerimizi her zaman günün içinde indirdiğimizde hiç dil ayrımı olmaksızın bayılıyorum. İlk orada ben aşık oldum. Bizi ayırandan çok birleştirenler var dedi. İşte enerjitik dil. Ve biz eğer bariyer yaparsak o dili de kesiyoruz. Hiç kimseyle iletişim kuramıyoruz. Kendimizle de dahil. Ben bunu paylaşmak istedim. Ben kaç yıldır içerideyim, Access'teyim, 7 adımdayım. Şunu fark ettim. Sürekli bariyerlerimi indirmeye başladım ki biraz önce şahsen söyleyince hemen bariyerler in, bariyerler in. Benim tavsiyem sürekli adım 3 ve 7 adım. Hepsiyle her gün, her saat, her an mevcut olurlarsa bir başkası sizin dilinizi bilmeyebilir ama siz onunla hiç konuşmadan anlaşabilirsiniz. Kes'le ben 3 gün beraber hiç Türkçe İngilizce konuşmadan muhteşem 3 gün geçirdim. Ve Dane'le de konuşabildim. Bunu yapan neydi? Bariyersiz olmak ve 7 adımlar. Ben sizi davet ediyorum. Dünyanın her yerinde kesin muhteşem sınıfları var. Patlama sınıfı geliyor. O sizin hayatınızda nasıl bir patlama yaratır? Ve farklı dilde arkadaşlarım da var. Onlardan da eğitim alabilirsiniz. 7 adımı alın. Her sınıfını. Bizimle birlikte olmak ne yaratırdı? Teşekkür ediyorum hepinize. Burada olduğunuz için ve Kes ve Şaşa ve tüm dostlarım, 7 adım öğretmenlerim. Varlığınıza şükran.
Teşekkürler. That's how you say thank you in Turkish. Thank you, darling. Wonderful. And she was mentioned, Dr. Dane here. He's the co-creator of Access Consciousness, and you can find out more about that on the website accessconsciousness.com. A lot of people here may not know that. Okay. Thank you, darling. Teşekkürler. Thank you, Burcu. Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. So everyone has a different way of doing that to the barriers down. We're almost at the top of the hour in India, the
Yeah.
end of the half hour in other places. And this month of October, you might really be ready to launch and share your magic with yourself and with the world. So we really would invite you, no matter what's going on, people may be leaving the planet. As I said before, people may seem like they're in resistance. People may seem like they're not understanding you. Most people are so busy in their minds that whatever is showing up with them, it doesn't have anything to do with you. It has most to do with them. So please do not go into resistance. Please do not put up the walls or barriers the moment you're willing to lower those walls and barriers. And then your body changes. Your vision changes. Your breathing changes, and your magic becomes visible to the world. Are you ready? Are you willing? Is it time to show the world your magic? Yeah. And this is ending. Please, you can, once again, it's 7steps.us, and you can see the little teacher's hat up on the right. If you click that, you get a list of all the teachers, and clicking on teachers from different places, underneath, you see their picture, you see their biography in your language, their language, other languages. And then underneath, you see the classes that they're doing. So please join them. And we have a bunch of prelude classes coming up, which are really amazing. And there's a workbook that you can purchase, whether you're doing that prelude class or not, that will accompany you not just during the class, but throughout your journey at the time. I hope that this was as yummy and delightful as it was for me, for you. And if not, what barriers do I have up that I'm not actually willing to receive? Why I joined this, or am re-listening to this Zoom.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr.
Absolutely. And you
Sasha.
can find us on social media as well.
Yes.
Thank you as well.
Yes.
You can find us on social media as well. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. The links will be in the chat. And come play with us. Hope to see you in class or live someday around the world. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Cass.
you.
Thank you, all the teachers.
Thank
Thank you, translators. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Thank
Pleasure.
you.
Pleasure. Bye-bye.